Imagine a world where the faintest sound could mean your demise. In the A Quiet Place series of films, the world has been overrun by terrifying creatures known as the Death Angels. But what exactly are these monsters? Where do they come from? And how do they function in an ecosystem that has been thrown into chaos? Today, we'll break down the biology of the Death Angels, examining their anatomy, physiology, adaptations, and possible origins. Are they an example of extreme evolution, or something entirely alien? Let's find out. At first glance, the Death Angels resemble a grotesque fusion of insectoid and reptilian traits. Standing at around 8 feet tall, they have a gaunt, sinewy frame covered in a black, chitinous exoskeleton. This exoskeleton likely serves multiple purposes. Their bodies are seemingly impervious to small arms fire, indicating an incredibly dense outer shell, possibly akin to the carapace of deep-sea arthropods. Despite their bulk, they are extremely fast and agile, suggesting their muscle structure is designed for rapid bursts of movement rather than brute strength. Their tendons and muscle fibers may function similarly to those of big cats or even large insects, allowing them to move with lethal efficiency. Their elongated limbs resemble those of predatory theropod dinosaurs like velociraptors. These limbs, combined with long, powerful claws, enable them to tear through obstacles with ease and traverse rough terrain at incredible speeds. Their true horror, however, lies in their heads. Instead of eyes, they have a massive, armoured cranial plate that can split open to reveal ultra-sensitive inner ear structures. This anatomical feature is key to their way of perceiving the world. The Death Angels rely entirely on sound to hunt. Their skulls are essentially giant resonance chambers, housing a complex auditory system far beyond anything seen in terrestrial creatures. Like bats and dolphins, the Death Angels likely use echolocation, emitting ultrasonic pulses that bounce off objects to create a three-dimensional map of their surroundings. This allows them to track prey with pinpoint accuracy, even in complete darkness. Their exposed ear structures might act like parabolic reflectors, concentrating sound waves into their inner ear. This would allow them to detect even the softest noise, from a rustling leaf to a human whisper. Given their ability to ignore irrelevant background noise, they must possess an advanced neural filtering system that isolates specific frequencies, particularly those associated with organic movement. This adaptation explains why they are drawn to the smallest sound, but also struggle with extreme bursts of high-frequency noise, such as feedback from a hearing aid. Their overdeveloped auditory system, while a strength, is also their greatest weakness. One of the most mysterious aspects of the Death Angels is their feeding behaviour. Unlike conventional predators, they do not seem to consume their kills, instead indiscriminately slaughtering anything that makes any noise. If they do eat, they may rely on an internal digestive process unseen by human eyes, perhaps absorbing nutrients in a way akin to some deep-sea creatures. Their relentless activity and aggression suggest an incredibly high metabolism. They must either consume a vast amount of energy, or have a completely alien biological process that fuels their relentless hunting. If they originated from a low-light environment, such as deep underground, or a planet with a very dim sun, they might have evolved to derive energy from sources other than conventional food, like chemical or radiation absorption. The Death Angels are extraterrestrial in origin, undoubtedly. This accounts for their physiology being so radically different from anything on Earth. But what kind of environment could have shaped such a creature? One possibility is that they evolved in a high-pressure, low-light environment, as previously mentioned, perhaps a planet covered in perpetual darkness. In such a place, reliance on sound rather than sight would be a dominant trait, making echolocation the primary means of detecting prey. If their exoskeletons are impervious to bullets, they may have evolved under extreme atmospheric conditions, possibly with higher gravity and immense atmospheric pressure. This would explain their incredible strength, speed, and durability. An alternative theory is that they are not naturally evolved at all, but rather the result of extraterrestrial bioengineering. Perhaps they were created as living weapons by an advanced alien race and then accidentally, or intentionally, unleashed upon the Earth. Despite their terrifying attributes, the Death Angels do have exploitable weaknesses. High-frequency noise disrupts their hunting abilities, effectively disabling them. This is seen in A Quiet Place, when Reagan's hearing aid emits feedback that causes them to become disorientated. Their inner structures also appear quite vulnerable. When their head plates open, their internal ear structures and brain become exposed. This provides a brief window where they can be killed, as demonstrated in the films. In A Quiet Place Part 2, it is revealed that the Death Angels cannot swim. This suggests they either evolved in a land-locked environment, or their dense exoskeleton makes them too heavy to stay afloat. While highly efficient hunters, they do not appear to exhibit problem-solving intelligence or strategy. They rely purely on instinct and reaction, making them susceptible to traps and countermeasures. If humanity were to truly face creatures like the Death Angels, survival would depend wholly on our own adaptation. Some potential strategies include living in soundproof environments. Underground bunkers or insulated homes, for example, would provide some protection. Ultrasonic weaponry is another. Devices that emit high-frequency noise could act as repellent defenses. Think of those cat repellent devices that some people have in their gardens in their homes to prevent cats from soiling their grass. If you're under the age of 25, apparently you are able to hear it, but people over the age of 25 generally cannot hear them, as the frequency is too high for our old ears. Flooding cities may be another possibility, extreme as it is. But extreme circumstances call for extreme measures. Using water barriers to create safe zones, as the creatures are unable to swim, may suffice, temporarily staving them off. We would need to make absolutely sure that the Death Angels had no method of getting across the water toward the land, however, as we saw in A Quiet Place Part 2. We could also implement decoy tactics, setting up noise traps to lure them into kill zones, allowing for controlled elimination. These are just some methods, however. I'm sure you probably have some additional ideas too. Feel free to leave them in the comments down below. The Death Angels are among the most terrifying creatures in modern horror cinema, not because of their grotesque appearance, but because of how realistically they exploit a single human vulnerability, our need to make sound. Their biology, adaptations, and weaknesses paint a picture of an incredibly well-evolved predator, one that thrives in darkness and silence. But, as deadly as they are, their Achilles heel reminds us that even the most fearsome creatures can be outwitted. And, in a battle of survival, intelligence and adaptation always win in the end. What do you think of the Death Angels? Do you have any theories about their origins or biology? Let me know in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this deep dive, be sure to like and subscribe for more speculative biology videos. And also, if you're feeling generous, feel free to become a patron or member of the channel, links in description. This has been the Bewarecast, and I'll catch you in the next video. Take care.